So much. Are you ready for your featured comic tonight? Put your hands together. Let me hear you. Make some noise. Coming to stage is one of Houston's locals. He performs all over the country. Most recently, he came in first place right here at the Joke Joint at their most recent comedy contest. Very talented, very funny guy. You guys are going to love him. Make some noise right now for David Pfeifer.
So I got two cats. First cat, named Nia. I named her after Nia Long. Because much like Nia Long, she's black, beautiful, and the best pussy I ever had. Another similarity she's got with Nia Long is that when I sit down on the couch, she likes to crawl up in my lap and rip the rankest farts. I mean, just terrible cat I asked her the other day, did Taye Diggs crawl up your ass and die? No, it's definitely Morris Chestnut. The fruity undertones, that's how you know. My second cat is named Jeffrey Beauregard III. Call him Bo for short. Now, Bo is my problem cat, okay? When he's not busy locking up nonviolent drug offenders, okay, he's always getting into wacky, zany adventures, okay? Like the other night, I get woken up at 3 in the morning by my fiance telling me, hey, I went to go pee just now. Normally, Bo comes and sits at my feet when he does that. Because apparently my cat's got a thing for piss and feet. Now, what can I say? He's presidential material. Anywho, so she noticed that he's not there, so we're up tearing the house apart looking for him. It's a one-bedroom apartment in the Heights. Not that many places you can look. We got on the balcony. We realized the planter box that hangs over the balcony rail is not there. I look down. This fat-ass cat has gotten so fat that he broke the zip ties holding up the planter box. Now he's down in the yard of the neighbors below us, scared shitless because there's a dog barking at him. So I got to go down there, get him out. He's too fat to fit through the rails of the fence, so I got a fireman carry. It's a whole thing. Anyway, long story short is, I told my fiance, I said, I'm really glad that your spidey senses, your maternal instincts kicked in, because I would have never noticed that he was gone. Right? Now she thinks I'm going to be one of these inattentive fathers that's not going to pay attention when their kid's going missing. Right? She said, well, what if I have to go away for work for a couple of days? I'm like, well, based on tonight's experience, you shouldn't do that. All right? Knowing me, I'll be about a day or two into it going, hell, I knew I had a kid around here. Well, shit, guess I'm going to Walmart to get a new one. It is what it is. Guys, my name's David Pfeifer. I'll let you know a little something about me. I am engaged to be wed this September. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm engaged to marry a beautiful black woman, and I'm very excited to be getting married. My parents are excited to see me get married. It's just, it's my grandpa. You know, I wouldn't call him racist, but he used to say things to me as a kid, like I'm sure everybody's grandpa did. He said, David, it's just like they say, once you go black, you're dead to me. And sure enough, he was. No fooling, 3 months into us dating, he dropped dead of a heart attack, and nobody even told him we were dating. So I don't know if he just maybe felt a disturbance in the force. Maybe he was sitting there watching Fox News, all of a sudden go, someone call a doctor! My son's got jungle fever! That's how I like to imagine, at least. But there's some challenges associated with being a white man with a black woman. For example, there can be cultural divides, maybe a socioeconomic gap. Probably one of the most difficult obstacles to overcome, though, is that as the guy, deep down in your heart, you know that yours is not the biggest she's ever seen, right? And it just takes a little piece of you having to admit that to yourself. I just wish she'd humor me once in a while, Like the other night, I said, baby, it's pretty big, right? She's like, depends on how you look at it. I said, that is some cold shit. You can't just lie to me like you love me. She said, baby, love is blind but can still feel around in the dark. That ain't right. So, well, when I found you, I stopped feeling around. I'm like, oh, well, that's very sweet of you, baby. That's very sweet of you. I appreciate that. And the thing is, it doesn't matter what color you are, right? At the end of the day, it's difficult for any man to establish credibility as a father to his children, right? right? So I want you to imagine in a couple of years, I'm going to have me a little mixed kid looking up at me being like, Daddy, you don't know the struggle. Listen here, you little high yellow bastard, you don't know my struggle. Do you know what it's like being the only white man expected to dance at a black wedding? Shit is terrifying, y'all. Look, I'm a white man, right? God gave me the world, but he took away my rhythm, okay? I mean, watching me dance is like watching Stephen Hawking try to shell a peanut, okay? It's like watching Michael J. Fox try to open a pickle jar, right? I got people at the reception yelling out, somebody help that cracker! It's rough, man. And you got to figure at some point they're going to get to a certain age where they're going to need to learn their history. I'm going to have to sit them down, let them watch Roots, right? Okay? Now consider that them watching Roots might put me in a little bit of hot water. Because you know they're going to be smart, right? They're going to be able to put 2 and 2 together. After a while of watching, they're going to be like, you know what, Daddy? These people look an awful lot like you. And they sound an awful lot like you. Where was you when all this was going on? What was you doing? I said, hold up. Like, I am not that old, all right? The 70s was a long time ago, okay? And knowing my luck, they'd probably produce a picture of me as a kid. Wouldn't look too good. All right, Daddy, well, what about you being dressed like a Confederate soldier? I'm like, it was a reenactment. What were you reenacting for? Look, it was just a thing that my family did a long time. Look, that's not important. Look, you know what? I'm not on trial right now, okay? I pay the rent. I pay for the shea butter that goes on those ashy elbows, knees, and ankles, okay? Right? You belong to me. Ah, that didn't come out right. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Lord. What I'm saying is that you're man. I mean, legally, Jesus. Look, how about this? How about I give you some candy, I'll let you stay up late, we call it reparations, we're even. We're cool? Okay. You gotta seal the deal when they're young, man. I'm so proud of my fiance, though. She got a really good job in the med center. She works at Texas Children's, doing ultrasound for pregnant women, so it's a really cool job. One of the things, though, that I did not know before she got this job was that apparently doing ultrasound involves spending a lot of time looking at dead babies, apparently, because it's very sad. It's actually quite common for babies to die in utero. It's really heartbreaking. Probably the saddest thing about it is when she gets home after work all day, she's not in the mood to fuck. I don't really know why that would be. I tried to talk to her. I said, Adriana, look, if we don't at least try to make a dead baby tonight, eventually you're going to be out of a job, right? It's just economics. You know, but we're trying to figure out how we're going to do this this wedding ceremony. You know, we're not sure if we want it to be religious or secular, because it's weird for me, because I was raised Catholic, okay, which is to say that I've never read the Bible and I don't go to church, okay? So we started attending this little Bible study with the thought being that we could trick them into officiating the wedding for free. So, because weddings are expensive. And then the conversation got a little odd. You know, we started talking about, you know, what you should do, what you shouldn't do, heaven, hell, all that type of stuff. And I turned to the guy and asked him, he said, you really think there's such a thing as hell, like a place where you go to suffer for all eternity? He's like, yeah, absolutely. I'm like, I don't know, man, because my mom always told me that, you know, if no sinner could ever get into heaven, it'd be a pretty empty fucking place, right? So I think everybody does get into heaven when they die. I just think you have to go through like an exit interview first, right? Like you gotta watch the tape, you know, like you're a football player after a game. You know, they probably bring you in, sit you down, like, hey, pleasure to meet you. Let's go ahead, have a seat. Let's take a look at the film. Okay. All right, you start off as a painter. That's pretty cool. All right. Oh, look, there's you skiing. That's fun. Okay, whoa. Here's where I think you went wrong, right where we killed 6 million Jews. All right, I think that's where you really whiffed it on that play. Really cost the whole team a lot of yards. But you know what's classic rookie mistake, all right? Sometimes you zig when you should have zagged, right? Sometimes you pizza when you should have French fried, okay? Now, French fried Jews might be a delicacy in Iran. That's not how we play ball up here. But don't worry, keep working hard. We're going to have to redshirt you this season, but who knows? Maybe we'll use you on kickoff return next time. All right, next. Go ahead, have a seat. Whew, that's a lot of gay stuff. I mean, not judge him, but it is what it is. Damn, Jeffrey, did you have to eat him? That's the Jeffrey Dahmer dog. There you go. Ba-doom. Don't worry, he'll be hanging out with the water boy, Mr. R. Kelly. Now, I've been thinking a lot about death lately, which makes sense because I sell life insurance. The thing about life insurance is that it's a pretty simple concept, right? You pay a little bit of money now so that your family can have more later, right? You'd be amazed at how many people take issue with that. Part of the most common objection I get is from a guy telling me, well, I don't want to pay for her to have a bunch of money to spend on some other dude. I'm like, man, there's nothing you can do to control that, right? I mean, if you're dead, what are you going to do? I mean, are you going to haunt her? Maybe she busts out a Ouija board and just going, stop sucking dick. Carl? Seems a little unrealistic to me. Because at the end of the day, she can either, suck dick on her own terms or out of necessity, okay? Me, I'd rather have her do it on her own terms, right? You don't want a revolving door men coming in and out of your kid's life, having to ask Mommy, Mommy, who was that man? That's Mr. Rent. Mommy, who's that? That's Mr. Light Bill. Mommy, who's that? That's Mr. Who the fuck you think pays for all these goddamn Lunchables and shit that you be eating? Money doesn't grow on trees, Billy. I tell you, it didn't always used to be chuckles for David. Used to be a mixed martial arts fighter, if you didn't know that. That's right. Used to tear it up in the ring. I actually remember my first fight like it was yesterday. Actually, you know what? I don't, because I got knocked out in the first round. Man, that was a weird situation. I came in with the straight right. He came in with the overhand right and just pew! Out like a light. And it was the weirdest thing because I didn't even realize where I was at or what was happening until I was back in the locker room. They were taking my hand wraps off. I look at my coach and said, what the fuck are you doing? I got to fight in a minute. Put that shit back on. I said, no, man, you got knocked the fuck out. I'm like, what are you talking about? I feel fine. I'm well rested. Let's do this. Had to explain it to me about 3 or 4 more times before it finally sunk in, but probably the worst part about it, it was a very disheartening experience, but the worst thing about it was when they put the fight up on YouTube, and man, there's something you don't ever want to read. It's the comments on your own knockout video. When I say these motherfuckers were ruthless and savage, I mean that shit. All right, first comment out the gate, someone's like, looks like a NyQuil commercial. Some other asshole photoshopped my face on top of Dorothy when she falls asleep in the field. Yeah. But probably the most hurtful one was just 3 simple little words, Cosby strikes again. Yeah. Now, how do you think I felt? And the thing was, it was like I said, it was very disheartening because I'd had it all planned out in my head, my life plan, right? I was going to be simultaneously climbing the ranks as a mixed martial arts fighter, at the same time being a comedian, and I was going to be the first motherfucker to win a title fight in Vegas, and then walk across the street to the hotel and do an HBO special. And by that time, my dick would be 10 feet tall, okay? But after that harrowing adventure, I realized, maybe I should cut the fighting out because at this rate, take too many hits to the head, I'm gonna forget my act. I'm gonna get up there being like, why did the chicken cross the road? You tell me. Who are all you people? It's very, very disheartening. Oh my goodness! But one of the things I'm very proud to announce tonight is that as of June 23rd this year, I am officially a full-time comedian. Thank you very much. Thank you. Which is to say I am unemployed. Oh my goodness. But it's been pretty interesting being a house husband. I don't know. Any house husbands here in the night? No? Barefoot in the kitchen, that's where they're at, right? Because I was having a conversation with Adriana, and I said, isn't it going to be weird that, right now your name's Adriana Keys, but you're going to be Adriana Pfeifer here in a couple of months? And she said, I don't know about that. I'm the one paying the bills around here. Maybe we should rethink this whole thing. And I'm like, hey, if all I got to do is cook, clean, and put out, and maybe take your last name, shit, call me Mr. Keys. I mean, you want to head morning, noon, and night, I'm your man. Real talk. But of course, she wants me to bring in some kind of money, but, comedy only goes so far. She suggested I try being a cam whore, actually. Those you don't know, that means you do sexual things on a webcam in exchange for money. And I said, really? You think I could do that? Aw, shucks. Well, obviously, you got to have boundaries in a relationship, right? So what am I doing? Am I just jerking off? Am I putting things in my butt? Well, where's the line here? She said, I don't care what you do as long as you get paid for it. I'm like, so one grapefruit up my butt later, I'm $15 richer, y'all. That's the new economy. That's that new gig economy, everybody. Which again reminds me that of a thing my mother used to say, all work, David, has dignity. All right, there's dignity in all work, which I thought was interesting because if that's the case, why have we been shipping so much dignity over to India and China these past few years, huh? Right? We about to have a bunch of robots with a whole lot of dignity here in the next couple decades. West Virginia coal miners, they don't have black lung. They're just coughing up dignity. I've had a few less than dignified jobs in my day. I'm sure you all have. Like, sorry, what do you do for a living? Nobody fucking cares. Nobody cares. You're a pipe fitter? Okay. How you like that? Pays the bills, that's right. Really, at the end of the day, we're all cam whores to one degree or another, Some people are just burying their buttholes in front of the camera. Other people are fitting pipes. It just is what it is. It's how we pay our bills. Now, my first job out of college, well, actually, I enjoyed that one. I was working for Habitat for Humanity in San Antonio. For those of you who don't know, Habitat for Humanity, it's a nonprofit organization that builds houses for low-income families. So being in San Antonio, that basically means my job was to build very small houses for very large Mexican families, okay? But we didn't just have Mexican families, though. We had families from really all across the world, refugee families from Burma, Indonesia, the Congo, all over the place. It was really interesting. First house I actually built was for a guy from the Congo. His name was Shimmy. He had about 5 or 7 kids. I don't know. I think he traded a couple for a lawnmower. It's a whole thing. But what was funny about Shimmy was that I think he was a little leery of me, wondering if I was gonna, take care of him, build his house right, because he was always asking me a ton of questions, following me around. Eventually, I had to turn to him and said, Shimmy, look, I know you've been through a lot, but I promise you, all right, I'm gonna build you the same shitty house, all right, that I build anybody, right? White, black, brown, pink with purple polka dots, it doesn't matter, okay? There's not gonna be a straight wall in that motherfucker, okay? Foundation's probably sitting on top of an Indian burial ground. I just want you to know how much we care, okay? All right, guys, I got this one last one I'm going to leave you with before I get out of here. Like I said, I did used to sell insurance for a living. And, oh, man, when you have to cold call people, it's boring stuff. So I used to use this little phrase to break the ice when I'd be talking to people. I said, hey, look, real quick, just want to shoot you this quick comparison quote. If it looks good, great. If not, we won't worry about it. And what I've found is you can use this same technique in your dating life. All right? For example, let's say I walk into a bar and meet a beautiful young woman like, ma'am, what's your name? Shannon? That's a beautiful name, Shannon. It's a pleasure to meet you. My name's David. Hey, look, Shannon, real quick. I got this dick, right? Just want to shoot it to you real quick. If it looks good, great. If not, we won't worry about it. How's that sound? We got to buy everybody. Shannon Shannon's interested. Now, look, Shannon, I got to ask you a few quick qualifying questions, okay, to make sure we're a good fit, right? Who is your current dick provider? Pleasure to meet you, sir. Now, here's the thing. You got to be careful who you go with, right? Because they could tell you anything, right? He probably tells you he's got, 10 inches. He's probably got a 12-inch deductible, okay? All right? That's called going backwards, Shannon. All right? You look like the kind of young woman who's trying to go forwards in life. Am I right? Right? Because if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Now, Shannon, I want you to understand how important this is. Imagine with me, hypothetically, you're on your way home tonight, and God forbid, you get into an accident, somebody wrecks your pussy. I mean, just wrecked to shit, y'all. I mean, it's a nightmare. They're pulling people out of there. It's terrible. All right? Now, look, this could go one of two ways, right? Now, you could have that cut rate insurance. Help me out here, Shannon. What year were you born? 97. Okay, so Shannon's used to driving a 1997 Shannon pussy, okay? And it's in great condition, y'all. No dents, no scratches. She changes the fluids, okay? Got all your favorite features. Got the heated vibrating seats, all leather interior. Hell, you probably got XM radio in there. But here's the thing, Shannon. They're not going to give you enough for a brand new 1997, right? After depreciation, they're only going to give you enough for maybe a 1957. Now, look, I don't know how many 1957s y'all have seen, let alone had to drive. I can tell you right now, Shannon, from experience, shit ain't pretty, okay? And the thing is, I understand you put so much into it, right? I mean, you wash it, you wax it, you fill it up twice a week, okay? Hell, you probably couldn't even get to work without it. I understand. The news ain't all bad, because with Liberty Mutual, we're going to insure yours to full replacement value to get you back on the road in brand new 1997 like it never even happened. And with our Better Pussy Replacement Program, we're going to put you in one model year newer with 15,000 less miles. Now, look, Shannon, I'm not a magician, but if I can take 15,000 miles off of it, I think I deserve a peek, don't you? All right, guys, give it up for Shannon for being a great sport. My name is David Pfeifer. Thank you so much. Please enjoy your headliner.
Y'all keep it going for David Pfeifer.